if I turned it on. I like this song.
It's a good jam.
Jack White.
Think the White Stripes don't turn out hits.
Act like Jack White's not a friggin' musical genius.
He's pretty amazing.
Have you seen that documentary? What's it called? Yeah, Might Get Loud.
No.
It's him.
Is it on Netflix? Because if it is not, I haven't seen it. I'll never see it.
I think it is on Netflix.
Okay.
It's him, the Edge guy from U2, and the other guy who's like a friggin' musical superstar, and I can't think of it now. I'm gonna have to find it out. But it's crazy. Like he makes like the guitar that he plays like on tour is like this cheap like $15 guitar that he picked up like at like that he's had for like 20 years that he got at like a Walmart or something.
And he just makes incredible hits with it.
He just jams out with it because he said it sounds the best.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not going to argue with him. His bank account
He
says that he's right.
At the beginning of the like as the documentary starts, it's him like making a guitar.
Like from scratch?
Like he's literally making a guitar and then he plays it and it sounds awesome. I'm like, well, you, my friend, are a genius.
2 things I'll never be able to do.
All right. Oh. Duh. Jimmy Page was the other guy.
Of course. Well, you think he's not a genius.
Yeah.
You're retarded.
Yeah. So in that group, Jack White was the low man on the totem pole.
Wow.
The Edge and Jimmy Page.
That's impressive.
I have a guitar in my basement.
When was the last time you played it?
I haven't yet to play it.
Oh, ever.
So it's pristine.
I bought it. I won some money on a cruise.
96?
No, I bought it recently.
Oh, okay.
Like a year. Well, probably over a year ago. I won some money on a cruise. I was like, I'm learn how to play the guitar. I tried to play it once and I popped a string. Trying to tune it.
First time out. Popped a string.
Boom, first time out. I want to learn how to play guitar.
What kind of guitar player do you fancy yourself, Wilkes? Are you like sitting around the campfire, like strumming a guitar kind of guy? Or well, like, where do you see this heading? Because we know you can't sing.
No.
So,
but when you play the guitar, though, it gets you start to understand notes a little bit better, which I think helps you sing.
Can you read music? I can't. I never learned how to read music at all, and now it's too late.
A little bit, but it would take. I have some of the knowledge somewhere.
Did you play anything at all ever?
I played the piano for a little bit.
Okay.
So I know enough. Well, I took a couple piano lessons. Enough where I know, FACE, blah, blah, blah.
But you're not going to ever be a Jack White.
No. No.
Well, first time out, and you break your string.
Yeah.
Your musical genius.
No, yeah.
Title
this
is
isn't
revoked.
This isn't God gifted. This is like when I ran a couple half marathons. Like I'm not a gifted runner.
Right.
Like I struggled.
Speaking of that, I think I've set a goal for myself. I'm actually going to try to do a half marathon in September. So
gives you what?
3 months.
Good for you. How long is that?
13 miles.
13.1.
13 miles. My goodness.
So we'll see. I mean, I'll make it. It's just how long it's going to take me to make it. I have no doubt that I can go 13.1 miles in some amount of time.
What would you be aiming for?
I don't even know what's realistic. I think right now
I would go 6 or 7 days.
I probably
is there
do
a
10
McDonald's on the route?
I mean,
like
I was trying to go sub 2 hours, which was
that's 12. So you're like 9 point something.
It was like I just sub 2 hours is what
like
I was,
9.5 miles an hour,
something like that.
Or no, that's not right.
Yeah,
that's really fast.
It's like 9.5 minute miles.
9.5 minute miles. That's what I meant to say.
So that's what I was trying to run.
Yeah, well,
which isn't fine, but
that seems reasonable.
I feel like I feel like you could probably run 10 minutes. Not really. A 10-minute mile is probably really not that hard.
It's probably not that hard.
It'd be hard to average over 13 miles.
I'm a really sucky runner, but I want a fitness goal that's kind of bigger than myself and bigger than what I think I can even do.
Well, I know when I did a couple races, I just picked a person in front of me.
Yeah.
And that's who I ran to.
Yeah.
And I didn't worry about the distance. And then once you get through mile 10, I think you kind of...
And someone was like, why don't you do a 5K? And I was like, wait a minute, that's only like 3 miles. Like, I can do that.
Should definitely try... I would definitely...
I might do a 10K first.
Do a 10K, because that'll give you an idea.
2 months, and then see how bad
What
I'm
do you think about running it?
I haven't looked yet.
Okay.
Downhill.
Well, yes.
Because I ran in Frederick, and it was a hill.
Good call.
Just tumble. Yeah, I ran...
Wherever it starts at the top and ends at like 1,000 feet below, I want to do that route.
Yeah, fitness goals are tough, and I have one in mind right now, and it's to not jiggle when I brush my teeth.
That's a pretty good fitness goal.
That's pretty much.
You know what? You gotta start. You gotta start somewhere.
Baby steps.
Baby steps.
It's
Baby
getting-
steps, ladies and gentlemen.
Getting that sugar-free toothpaste, man.
Harder and harder.
You got to start somewhere.
what the sound of that bell means is that it's last call time. We'll go around the world of sports, like I said, get our quick thoughts on some things. But I do want to jump in and say something before we get into that, which is Make sure that everybody gets their weekly Gazette, Montgomery County Gazette, for our listeners that are in Montgomery County. The Rockville edition, is that right? Or the
Gaithersburg and
Rockville editions.
Even
make
if
sure
you're not, drive up here
Congratulations,
tomorrow.
gentlemen.
Make sure that you get a copy of that. A story of your boys will be in the sports
And
section.
Slow news
And
week.
apparently,
So-
an amazing picture of Wilkes, so you don't want to miss that.
Fantastic.
Did you do any private pictures with him when we left?
I feel like-
or what was it? Do you
I
have
feel
any?
like you guys had a little side deal going on.
I don't know if it was the one where I was actually Remember the one I said that weirded me out
Yeah, I do
when
remember
he was
that.
right there and the guy took a picture right of me?
Well,
and I didn't know what to do, so I was like freaked out.
I don't know. There's no way I'm in the picture, which first of all, I don't really care about. Second of all, because I guess he was walking around, the dogs went nuts. I don't know if you
Yeah,
remember that.
they lost
But
their
I
minds.
was literally I was hovering over. I had every body part trying to cover my dogs down here in our studio.
I hope we got a picture of
to
that.
make sure that they weren't barking. So while I hope, I mean, that would be cool. That probably would be funny. But yeah, so go check out. No matter when you're listening this week, it'll probably still be available. So go check it out. Go steal it from someone's front porch. I don't care.
Trust me.
Pick up the copy that your neighbors run over about 4 or 5 times and take it in your house and read the story about your boys,
Yeah.
please.
So all right,
I'll be signing them.
once
If
you
anyone wants to send me their Gazette, I'll sign it.
I want to
for them.
jump into a pretty big story in the world of sports, actually, that happened over the weekend, and that's a simple question of, after so much talk, after so much is he or isn't he, is Tiger back, boys?
Tiger Woods, y'all.
Shoo.
And the reason now is does a win like this mean he's back?
Back to what? He's not. He's never going to be.
No, but
There was a time, which we've never thought we'd see in Tiger's life, where when he played in a tournament, he was not the favorite.
Yeah.
Even in your mind, at least in my mind, I said, I don't think he's going to win this tournament.
Yeah. But
Is that changed? Because now, look, I mean, golf tournaments are impossible to bet. They're impossible to predict. But if you had to choose one, every week for 10, 15 years was Tiger Woods has the best chance to win this golf tournament.
yeah.
Wasn't the case over the past couple of months.
I mean, I think he said even
Past couple of years.
Past couple of years even, maybe.
I think he said the last one that he won before this one, just a couple,
Couple months, March.
Yeah. They
On a
said even
Palmer
that one was
Invitational.
kind of like a fluke. Because they said the only shot.
so a chip in on 16 isn't a fluke?
Yeah. Well,
No.
They said that the only way he won it really is because he could only hit the only shot he felt comfortable with was like a low line drive shot, which just happened to work for this type of golf course that he won at.
Yeah.
But he said he couldn't hit anything else. This tournament, he said he felt comfortable hitting all of his shots.
well, do we believe him is the question.
Well, he won 3. I mean, he's pretty honest with himself. Even when they asked him, "Are you
He's
back?"
just not honest with his wife.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry.
Ex-wife.
Ex-wife.
Dang.
I mean, I don't think he does.
Yeah.
He seemed. They asked him if he's back. He's like,
How about this?
"What?"
How about this simple question? Is he the best golfer in the world?
Today?
Don't tell me rankings. Don't tell me. Is he the best golfer in the world?
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead.
He's probably the most feared anyway.
As crazy as it is, and right now, and say yes, only because he teed up with Ricky Fowler in the next last group. Behind him was Sabatini and Spencer Levine, and I think he started the day 2 shots back. And Ricky Fowler won a couple weeks ago. Ricky Fowler's been playing great golf, and when Tiger's playing well, he has this mental control over people that puts fear into their hearts, and he has not had that the last couple years. And you could see it. Ricky crumbled. I mean, I think Ricky shot 2 or 3 over or something in the final day and just completely disappeared.
He had the fist pump back, working hard on the fist pump.
So I
It was pretty incredible to see
I
him
do
do that
absolutely agree with you, and I'm not picking.
that joint will give you chills.
And I'm not trying to pick on what you just said, but when Tiger was the best, he had that killer instinct, and guess what? He was also the best golfer. Do you know what I mean? Is it now just the killer instinct back, and he's still not up to his normal level of actual golf game?
Listen, it's real easy to see when Tiger was the best in the world, he was making putts. He was making putts from 10 to 15 feet, from 15 to 25 feet. And that's as simple as it is. As crazy as that sounds, obviously he had the mental aspect as well, and his putting fell off because his confidence fell off and he was shook. And I'm going to venture to say that this guy's back. I'd say he's obviously the hands-down favorite to win the Open. Without a doubt. I think you throw Rory and Luke Donald and Ricky Fowler, a couple guys.
Kevin's boy is pooing all over himself.
A couple guys in there, but
I'll tell you what, I was not happy to see a Tiger win without another name up at the top except for Fowler, who I know is very, very good and very exciting and weird looking, but has his little thing going.
Well, there are
his
a couple
bright
other fun
colors,
guys
but
up there. Andreas Romero plays a lot in Europe. You don't know a lot about
sounds like
him,
a pitcher
obviously.
for the Blue Jays. I mean,
He's a top 25
I have
guy.
no idea who that is.
But yeah, that's fair enough to say.
All right, so we all. I mean, MJ, Tiger back?
I don't.
I know, Wilkes. This is the dumbest question ever. Is Tiger back? Back to what?
I think that he's got to be
But Wilkes,
on the top.
You always say, "Well, we got to talk about something."
True.
If you give me $50 to bet on somebody for the Open, I'm putting it on.
I just
Gotta
don't.
put it on Tiger,
He'll
okay.
never be back to Tiger. But like you said, if it's back to the point where I think he's near the top of every, is he near the top of every tournament he's going to play in? Then yes.
He's definitely got some swagger back, if nothing else.
It's definitely back a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's switch to hockey now, real quick. Did anybody see the Jersey Shore faces that the Kings put up?
The big giant.
Pretty awesome, right?
You gotta love how the first thing we talk about hockey is the giant.
Well,
Jersey Shores.
because
They were
look, I haven't watched 1 second of the finals. I don't know if anybody else has.
You
But
won't need to because
that's
it's gonna
my
be
question.
over on Wednesday.
King sweep on
Kings are
tomorrow.
unstoppable. It's incredible.
So
AC and they're treating us like it was a joke.
we always hope that's the way the Kings are playing. You always thought that the Capitals at some point could be that team, right? I mean, was there ever a hope that this year, because they weren't that top overall seed, that they said, hey, we could become this hot team. We could become somebody like the Kings. Clearly wasn't this year, but is that what wins now in the NHL? Just being better at the best time?
Yeah.
Being amazing at the best time.
Yeah, I mean, or is this different? Because I know, in previous years, when the Bruins won, all that stuff, the top seeds, the dominant teams of the regular season, haven't consistently won the Stanley Cups in the past in the past decade. Is that right?
Yeah, I think last year a lot of the top seeds lost.
Yeah. So
it just seems hockey is more than anything. You get hot at the right time.
hot team, hot goalie, man. The Kings
hot
have
goalie
both.
gets it going.
Yeah,
And the Kings are 10-0 on the road, which is just absolutely unbelievable. But it's the only sport that you can do that. You get a couple guys hot goalie.
Not
and there you go.
fair, not fun. Put your guessing your guessing hats on. The Caps were able to advance. Do they advance past the Devils? And then what do they do
Absolutely.
And then what do they do against the Kings?
Same thing as the Devils are doing.
Just get swept,
Just get smacked up.
broom to the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Kings have paid no mind to the Devils.
Yeah.
The Kings will be hoisting the Stanley Cup, going who's next? Because
Yeah, that's tough.
they could just keep beating people.
They've lost.
That's tough. I say they smoke New Jersey. Their two series to start off.
They've given up
were
24
incredible.
goals or something in 17 games or
Yeah.
something. Some insane number.
Wilkes, what do you think about the Caps' chances against the Devils and then the Kings? Just guess.
They would have lost to the Kings, so whatever they
So
did against the
doesn't
Devils
matter.
wouldn't have mattered.
Doesn't matter. MJ, you agree?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. All right. Let's talk about something that, Wilkes, you may have said that we brought it up for a second, but I got into an argument at work today, and that's about the P. Diddy's son getting his scholarship to UCLA and both sides accepting it. Now, of course, the big argument is when somebody with that much money and can obviously afford it, should they have said thank you but give the opportunity to somebody else? What are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely, they should have. 100% they should have.
I mean, we won't argue about this for an hour, but I know that we could because I have so many questions for you. If that is your actual stance,
If you're P. Diddy, you let because this actually the same thing happened with Denzel Washington and his son. So he tried told his son to give the scholarship back. We'll pay for it, and they wouldn't let him do it. So he started a scholarship to make up for it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now that's fine. If there's some whatever stupid wrangling going on in the background, you can't just say no thanks. But my kid still wants to go there. But if look, the whole point of the scholarships is to
careful.
Okay.
Because I think we're
I
gonna
can see it in his eyes.
I think we're gonna completely disagree about what a scholarship is for.
A scholarship is rewarding you because you've done something either academic or in sports. Athletically, sorry.
Which he did.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
That has been great, and they want you to come to their school, and that is their way of sort of paving the way for you to attend their school.
So you're basically saying that if everyone in the world could afford it, there would be no scholarships. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
See, I disagree, and I don't know what the actual definition of the scholarship is in the UCLA handbook, but he earned the right to go to that school for free by the way he plays basketball. And I hate that you would.
And all this time, I thought he was going to be a band major or something.
Yeah. Well,
I hate that
he's playing on the basketball team too.
Oh, what is he? The football player?
He plays cornerback.
Okay, well then fine. The football team. You should not take that away from him just because he's Diddy's son.
From him.
Well, it is because now you're saying, son, I have too much money, so you don't get to be like everybody else with a full ride because I have money. And then my next question is, so basically anybody that has enough money should not accept a scholarship?
Correct.
Yes.
Wow.
But
give it to some other kid who needs it.
Why wouldn't you?
So where's the cutoff?
Define enough money, though. That's the question here.
And that's where I think the argument.
Hundreds of millions of dollars.
And this is where
pass it on.
Here's what I'll stop with. Here I'll
Pay it
hop on
forward.
MJ. Here's where I'll start with. I'll start with if you have $500 million to your name.
Yeah.
That's where I'll start.
Yeah.
We can work down from $500 million,
Yeah.
but I'm going to start there. Here's the advantage.
I say you can't start there because then anybody.
Why wouldn't you, if you're Combs, why wouldn't you turn your scholarship down, walk on the football team? They can then give that scholarship to another player. Then the team only gets better.
I mean, because he earned it.
It's not taking anything away from him. He still gets to go to that
now
school
he's a
and play.
walk-on.
He still has the honor of being offered the scholarship.
He's not even Diddy's real son.
and plus,
Well, this argument's over for me now.
He didn't earn it.
Plus, he earned it by getting the scholarship.
Yeah.
And plus, I believe there are also rules where if you're a walk-on, it's much easier to cut you. It's much easier to the rules change when you're now a non-scholarship
then fine.
athlete.
But so I think the rules are stupid.
So are you mad at UCLA or are you mad at the Diddies?
I'm mad at UCLA.
You're mad at UCLA.
Well, actually, a little bit of both.
Oh, now you're mad at both.
A little bit of both.
Unbelievable.
If Diddy doesn't pull the Denzel,
Okay.
then I'm mad at Diddy. And I'm mad at UCLA for not making some path to say gift that scholarship money, not the scholarship,
Which,
but the
by the way,
scholarship money.
Diddy may do. You don't know that. So
I don't know that.
But
You're right.
But your theory
Diddy.
is if you can afford a scholarship, or excuse me, if you can afford to pay to go to the school, if you are offered any money, you should turn it down.
Absolutely.
No, if you're
My
if
God.
you're blatantly disgustingly rich.
So now,
You should turn it
so
down.
now it's just a special P Diddy rule, or a special actor rule, or a special famous rule.
Or a special rich rule. You don't have to be
Or a
a
Bill Gates
actor
rule.
or
You
So
can-
okay, so what is the
the software
cutoff
industry.
then? And that's my question. If you're mad at it, tell me a cutoff.
if I have $10 million in the bank.
So that's it. If you have $10 million in the bank, you should have to pay for your kid to go to school,
Yes.
even if they earned it.
Yes.
Even if your daughter 4.0 her entire life
Yes.
and got an academic scholarship, take that away too.
I'm not taking away her chance to go there, and that's where I might be mad at the school for, because they should still get that honor.
They just have to pay,
Yes, absolutely.
even though they earned the right not to pay.
I mean, they don't have to pay. I'll pay for it.
I don't understand.
My kid won't have to pay for it.
Right. Well, the family.
Yes.
The
Yes.
family still
Yes,
has to
but
pay for
yes,
it, even
absolutely.
though the kid earned not to have to pay.
Yes.
His scholarship was what, for $54,000 a year?
A year.
You know what that is? That's a good night out promoting at a bar from Diddy. Diddy can walk out of his house and just go, $54,000, I'll show up to your bar.
I get it, but I think you guys are. For me, there's just a.
It just
a
feels
point-
wrong to take that money.
For me, it feels wrong to take it away from the kid who deserved it, the kid who earned a ride to,
But that's
to
not
UCLA.
it's not hurting that kid. It's only hurting someone else. It does not
Somebody
hurt
else
that
who
kid.
didn't deserve it.
I guess
How do you know they didn't deserve it? How do you-
Because they didn't give it to him. They gave it to Diddy's kid instead.
Question.
Whoa, whoa,
how,
whoa.
Because
whoa,
the other-
whoa.
okay,
How do you know they
maybe it's
gave
a coin toss.
How do you know they gave
No,
it
there's
to
no coin toss.
Wait a minute.
How do you know?
In
How
this
do you know
game.
they gave it to Diddy's kid because he deserved it, not because he's Diddy's kid?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. That didn't come out.
You know what?
Your
What's what I'm
yelling
saying.
is upset Trixie. I just
And
wanna
you're not
let you
going to know that.
You're
How
wrong,
do you
Kevin.
know if you're UCLA, you go, well, I'll give it to Diddy's kid. There's probably 10 players better than him.
Well, if
but,
that's why,
but if
that's why, then UCLA, who houses some of the smartest kids in the world, are absolutely moronically stupid because they had to have known the backlash that they were going to get.
Yeah. Wait until they have a P. Diddy library.
So
Guess
why?
what?
So why would they have done that just because he's P Diddy's kid?
Because you get good pub on your football team.
No. But look at the backlash they've gotten by offering us a scholarship.
I mean,
why would they do that?
I understand that they maybe decided to treat him like any other kid, which is fine. But
Yeah.
just leave the door open for the family to not accept it. How's that? Give the kid all the benefits of that scholarship, but leave it on the table.
I brought this up.
So when Master Romeo or whatever his name is, Master P, was playing for the Hornets, what if they signed him since he was already a multi-millionaire at that point? Should he have said, you know what, Hornets, pay me the minimum salary?
No, because that's different.
I mean, it's different,
Yes.
but in a way, it's the same.
Well, he has no money now.
Yeah.
What if,
zippy cash.
what if they just didn't charge? I actually had this conversation. Would all the sides be happy if they didn't charge Diddy's son anything? They didn't give him a scholarship.
Right.
They just didn't charge him. Because when you go to college, there's 100,000 people in your biology class.
Right.
If one other kid sat down, would you be like, son of a...
No.
You wouldn't notice
You don't
one
care.
extra kid.
I'm just saying, if he earned it, let him have it. That's my theory.
Yeah, he's probably you probably don't want big companies to have to pay taxes either because they figured out a way and they earned it.
Let's
Yeah.
move on.
That's why Google only paid
Moving on.
$77,000 in taxes in Australia.
Oh, look at you.
Not even sure. I'm not smart enough to understand what either of you just said. So we'll move on from
Yeah.
there. Let's talk a little bit
Way
about
to use
baseball.
your dumbness to get out of that argument.
The Mets, who the Nationals are playing, had a no-hitter last week when Johan Santana pitched a gem. Yet, if replay was available, he unfortunately would not have had a no-hitter. Apparently, it should have been in place this year where all fair foul calls and all trap or catches can be reviewable. If I read the article correctly, they will be in play next year. Is that good for baseball?
I think anytime you get it right.
Get it right.
Slows down a slow game, though.
Get it right.
Yeah.
So can you go further from that? Should all balls and strikes be used by
Do the same thing the NFL
infrared
Do
sensors?
the same thing NFL does. Challenge flags.
Just have somebody from the
Why
bench.
don't they do what hockey does, where you just have a central office when there's 20 guys.
That I'm on board with.
There's 5 guys who sit in a room. The ref goes, "Hey, ting,
Right.
watch this," and they go, "Nope,
Ting.
Yeah.
done," and they
Yeah.
go, "Okay."
I like that. Just try to get it right.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying about the sense. I don't like, for whatever reason, I want them to get it right, but I don't like the sensors around.
It's difficult in baseball because there's so many different plays. So, say you start reviewing home runs. Well, next you move to ball strikes, and do you move to where do you cut it off?
Well, that's why I think next year it's obviously home runs. It's home runs this year, and then it's also going to be fair foul calls and then trap or catches. Where I actually think that maybe the challenge rule or having a central referee makes a lot of sense.
I think everything should be central referee. I think the NFL, those guys go to that stupid hood. That's so stupid.
But is there anything to be said about the human element of sports?
I think so in baseball more than any other sport.
Just have like an
Growing up
iPad
playing
for
baseball,
the
I think
umpire
it's-
just right there on the field.
All you gotta do is go press a button right here. It's a red button. You lift it up in case of emergency. You lift it up and you go. Pff, it alerts them right on the field. You don't have to go into the hood and pretend like you're doing something.
Right.
Yeah, but I think that's about all that baseball can afford to do is fair foul, home runs, and whether or not somebody caught
Sure.
it.
Well, why
I
don't
don't
they
think
just
you can
use
do anymore.
Why don't they just use a little strike zone
I don't
thing
think-
like I have in front of me on
I don't
ESPN?
think you can do.
Don't even need the
What the next step? Obviously, I think before balls or strikes, Steve, would be fair or out at a base. Do you think that's something that
See,
that replay should be in charge of?
baseball is so traditional and so whatever that
Old school, yeah.
I just don't think I think that takes a lot away from the game. Being a baseball lover and growing up playing baseball and going and watching a lot of games.
You'd
and
miss
stuff.
the arguments.
I
Like
baseball
that is some of the character
baseball's
of the
an
game.
insane sport. In 2 different leagues, there's a very
that'll be
glaring
changed.
rule.
Yeah.
I hope they got to change
What
that.
sport? What other sport has that?
Right. In the
It's-
same league, there's 2 different.
It's almost 2 completely different games in a sense.
What's comparable? That's like the NFL, not like the AFC not having field goal kickers.
Yeah, they'd be like, okay, the AFC cannot return punts this year. Everything will just be
not
turned over.
like you have to go for it on 4th down.
Yeah.
in the AFC, but not in the NFC, or in
You
basketball.
have to. It's essentially having. You know what it is? It's essentially in the NFC. You get to have. You only have to have 5 down linemen, but in the AFC you have to have 6 down linemen. So you have not an extra offensive player.
That's an interesting way to put it. Yeah, that's crazy. All right, but I think those 3 things so far, if it sticks with that, I do agree that it's good for baseball.
but
if that comes
in
back.
finality, I think it takes nothing away from his
his no-hitter.
no-hitter. Yeah.
Oof, I don't know.
I
That's
kinda-
tough.
I mean, I'm at the same way. I mean, because at that point, if you went back to every no hitter, I don't know how many close.
Yeah, how
cases.
many missed calls are going on back there?
Yeah. Well, that being said, what's his name? You got. I bet what's his Galarraga
Oh yeah.
got hosed.
Was that a perfect game too?
That was a perfect game.
Perfect
Perfect
game.
game. Yeah, that sucks. All right, let's move on.
That does in fact suck.
Justin Blackman apparently today or yesterday pleaded not guilty to drinking and driving. How do you do that?
That dude was
Well,
housed.
you blow 3 times the legal limit,
Yeah.
and then you hire a lawyer for $100,000 and see what happens.
I think he had to plead. I think he had to plead not guilty because they weren't going to give him. There was going to be no plea bargain.
Gotcha.
So it had.
So he was just, if he said guilty, he was cooked.
Yeah, it's like there was going to be no plea bargain, so he was going to have to go to court. So I think he had to plead not guilty. So, like, they weren't going to let him because it's his second one in 2 years.
Right. Which in Oklahoma is a felony.
And
For real?
Yeah, 2 to
But
5
if he
is
got
a
it-
felony in Oklahoma.
I can tell you right now, .24.
Oh yeah.
You are.
He was in.
I couldn't even
he
have
was in
found my
Oklahoma?
car.
Yeah, both his ones were in Oklahoma. He got 1 and 2 in Oklahoma.
Oh gosh.
You are hammer bombed at 2.4.
Not even driving. I couldn't have found my keys to go to my car at .24. I can't imagine being that drunk. Because my buddy has one of those breathalyzers, and I think at one point I was laying on the floor of his house. I was like, give me that thing. And I blew like a .19, and I was like,
Put it
Love the
this
sound
way.
effects, too.
Put it this way.
And then you threw up your small intestine.
Yes, exactly.
when I did the DOI thing at the police station,
Uh-huh.
I think the highest I blew before I went out and did the test for the recruits was like a .27, and I physically
Wow, that's impressive.
I physically couldn't stand. And to get to a .27, I had like 13 beers and like 4 or 5 shots. I mean, I was.
It's got to be, especially
like,
with
when I was doing the straight
especially
line
with the
test,
brothers. It's definitely not beer. It's
I
definitely
had a
all
cop
liquor.
behind me,
Like holding you up?
holding me up to make sure I didn't essentially hurt myself.
Just-
By the way,
Black-
how do you sign up for that?
Yeah, well, wait, I was gonna circle back around. What did you do?
I just the story.
What a cop held your hand or something?
I don't know this story.
So a couple years ago, we actually knew a guy. We went to the golf course. Me, or Kirby, who you know, and our buddy
Yeah.
Eric.
Kirby Puckett.
Yeah, Kirby Puckett.
That lasted for about 2 weeks, by the way.
Yeah, Capital Kirby. We went to my dad also works at the police academy.
Sure.
We went to the academy, and what they do for the recruits in order to get live sobriety field tests,
They get people hammered.
they get people hammered. Yeah, they bring people up. They just sit you in a room. They have a cooler of beer, and they just get you drunk because they want the recruits to have real experience with someone who's drunk. And they breathalyze you every couple minutes. What they're supposed to do is they're supposed to put people at various stages so that the recruits can kind of like,
Sure.
this person is, this person isn't. I need to be able to tell the difference.
Right.
So, after a couple beers, 3 or 4 beers, I was already at a .08. So that should tell you, like 4 beers, and I was already
How long were you in that room drinking?
couple. So we were kind of hesitant because you're still in the police academy,
Right.
so you're hesitant about like how much should I drink.
Right.
So you're kind of drinking slow, and the cop was like, "Are you guys?" He's like, "Are you guys gonna drink or what?" This is
Right.
He threw in
The whole point of this is
he
for
threw in a
you-
couple words, and we were like, "Are you sure?" And he was like, "Yes." He's like, "We like, you got a deck of cards somewhere?" So we started playing cards with 2 other guys that we didn't know they were there, and I said by the time we walked out of there, .27.
I mean,
And it was game time. So I get outside, and so what all it is recruits are set up at various stations, and you go to them, and then they're supposed to be like, sir, how much have you had to drink? but the best is that these cops are looking at me, and I just reek of it. 1, I reek of it. 2, I wear it on my face. So I'm like, if you couldn't tell I was
Right.
drunk, you are in the wrong line of business.
Did
'Cause
you
I-
look at him and tell him you only had a couple?
which is the,
I only had 2 or 3.
which is the best because that's what you had to do. You had to be like, because you couldn't just say. I think at one point I said something crazy like I had 10, which if you ever told a cop you had 10 drinks, they would just put you in the back. So I was like, come, they're like, they're trying to do like the pen test, but my whole head's moving. The people were worried about me because it was kind of wet outside too, walking a straight line. So there was another cop who walked behind me in case I fell over to make sure I didn't hurt myself.
Mm-hmm.
And then they would pick you up. So they actually picked you up at your house, and they dropped you off at your house.
Got you drunk and then took you home.
Then took me home.
Nothing like
That's
a
amazing.
free police ride.
That's amazing.
Pretty cool. All right, let's real quickly talk about Manny Pacquiao and
Timothy Bradley.
Adam Bradley. No, Timothy Bradley. Coming up this weekend, Bradley puts his undefeated streak against the line against Manny Pacquiao. God, I don't know much else about this fight, gentlemen, but who wins?
All I know is that 24/7 does a remarkable job of making you believe just for a little bit
That Bradley has
that
a
the
chance.
other guy stands a chance.
Yeah,
When you watch
there-
it, and then you watch. I don't know if you guys haven't watched 24/7. Start watching it because Pacquiao is full on
crazy mode, right?
He's nutballs.
He's like a pastor now. Or
Well,
something.
he's a politician. What do you expect?
He's a pastor and a politician and like the
Rapper
leader of the
and
country.
a leader and a,
Yeah.
and
but he's also
rapper
like
and
a
actor.
religious fanatic now.
Yeah, I saw
And
I
he
that.
think
has,
he
like,
is a rapper.
I saw the first
he
24/7.
He has like all these. It's so funny because when Timothy Bradley, they interview his people. It's literally his trainer and one other guy. That's all the people that he has. Pacquiao has like 10 other people. He has like a spiritual advisor, just a regular advisor,
a
He has, like-
spiritual advisor for his regular advisor.
a jab advisor.
It's insane. So you're kind of like, this is kind of, I was like, well, he's off the deep end. So you're kind of,
He's bought into his own hype for sure.
Well, if he tackles him down and starts eating his face, then I'll truly believe that things have gotten real.
I'm kind of in on.
You
I
still
kind of want Bradley to win.
at this point because you're starting the every time you talk Pacquiao, of course you talk Mayweather. Are you starting to feel like this fight just may never happen?
It's never gonna happen.
So let's just hope Pacquiao loses then. It's
That's
a bigger story.
Oh, you're
That's-
crazy.
Yeah.
See, that's
the
this
best
is the
fight that
last
never
chance.
happened.
this is what I'm. It's never gonna happen. No, neither one of them will agree to it. Mayweather was like, I'm a bigger draw than you, so I want 60%. Pacquiao's like, F you. Why would I give you 60%? Even though they both could have this fight.
Ridiculous cash.
And it would
Yeah, it'd be like 140 million.
Yeah,
or
it'd be like 80 million for me and 60 million for you.
Yeah.
I think they said Pacquiao was the highest paid athlete in the world last year. I think that's what I saw in ESPN magazine, because he had 2 fights and he cleared like $55 million.
Well, Floyd makes more than that though because he controls everything.
Yeah, but he only had like 1 fight and he made like $30 million.
The only reason I don't want if Pacquiao lost his fight, listen, and I'm a big fan of hopefully Pacquiao Mayweather fight. They're not going to fight, but I cannot stand Floyd Mayweather's trash talking about Pacquiao. It drives me insane.
I
if
think
Pacquiao
that would be so
lost,
awesome.
If it lost this fight, I would
But-
never.
but
If,
here-
if
but here's the
Mayweather
thing
came on
about
TV, I'd never
Pacquiao.
watch him again.
Pacquiao doesn't have a perfect record or anything. So I mean, like another loss on his. I get it.
Yeah,
But
but
he's
big
won
deal,
his like
but-
last 18 or
Yeah,
whatever.
maybe more. I have no idea. But for me, at this point, I still think a better, bigger story would be if Pacquiao somehow lost.
Oh, it'd be a
this
huge
fight.
story.
And because, like I mentioned, I don't think that that the Mayweather
Well,
fight.
But then
can
there is
happen.
no big fight left ever.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
Unfortunately, if Pacquiao loses,
what if it's
boxing dies.
What if it's
It's-
Mayweather versus Bradley? I mean, what if that ends up being the most important fight? Who
Well,
knows?
nobody
Because then
will
he
care.
just got lucky, and then Mayweather punches his head off.
All right. Well, you guys talked a lot about money, how much money that Mayweather would make. Well, Yahoo today came out with the richest people under 40 years old. Did we see this today?
I actually read this.
You
Did I
actually read
make-
this.
did
so
I crack the
so
top
then
40?
you are not allowed to answer. Richest man under 40. Not hard to predict, right?
Yeah, your boy Mark Zuckerberg.
It won't be,
That's-
guess
that's
what?
easy.
It won't be for long.
So
Facebook's down to
so
20 $20.
he's number one. Any guesses who number 2 is? And I wouldn't ask you unless it's a fair question, unless you can maybe use deductive reasoning and
This
figure
one
it out.
surprised me.
Is it the guy who does like the Tesla cars and SpaceX and stuff? I think his name is
No,
Branson. He's much
Not-
old-
not
oh,
him.
no, it's the younger guy, the SpaceX guy. Yeah, no, the number 2 guy is related
to Walmart or something crazy.
to
No, I'm saying if you couldn't use deductive
Right,
reasoning
right.
from what we just
I
talked
have no
about,
idea.
Sean Parker from the guy who started NASA.
was this an order or
Yep.
was it?
It was in order.
Wait, how much does a
I don't think it
Napster
was an
guy
order.
have?
I think it was just a random list.
Oh well, he made big money
Oh,
from
it was-
Facebook, right?
Oh, random list. Oh, you're right. Okay.
was just a
Okay, I was
random
about to
list.
say that guy can't have.
No, he's worth
Zuckerberg money.
$2 billion.
He's worth $2 billion.
Because
Yes.
because of Napster, and he also got in Spotify. Like he was like one of the initial
Oh.
people in
I
Spotify.
don't think Napster
And a
really
couple-
has anything to do with it. It's the fact that he
Yeah, he went
owns so
broke
much
off
in
Napster.
Facebook. He owns like 30% of Facebook or something like that.
What
so
a
I think
lucky
I think
bastard.
that's where
Well, 3 people on there.
Jeez.
that's where his
4
money is. I thought this was a top 4. I'm glad Wilkes you caught me, but 4 of the top 10 are all.
4 of the people on there have Facebook.
Wilkes, let me do my last call, please.
Sorry.
God.
No, just kidding. Wilkes is right.
No,
Four-
he was being serious, and he
I'm
realized how
going back
ridiculous he
upstairs.
sounded.
No, stop it. No, 4 of the top 10 of the richest people under 40 all connected to Facebook.
I mean,
So
big
well,
money
I'm
right
on
there.
Facebook, so
Well,
I should.
Did you see the people that made
be
money?
up
Like the
there.
guy who like did,
Elon Musk. That's who I was thinking of. I don't know if he's under 40 though.
the guy who did the artwork for them.
yes, he was on the Stern Show. I know who you're talking about.
He's like this Asian dude. He did
Yep.
art. He did like a mural for them. So they gave him some stock, and now he's worth like $200 million or something stupid.
Yeah.
Ugh.
What was it?
So-
The guy. There's a woman on Ellen years ago who was when Google first started. They hired this woman as their masseuse. and they gave her stock options.
You know what?
And now she's like a multi-millionaire.
I'm just gonna start going around to all the startups and offering my services for free, but just give me some stock.
That might be the first Ellen show quote on a sports radio show in the history of radio.
I
love Ellen.
Who doesn't love Ellen?
Yeah, I think
I think she's
I don't think
I
I've
think
ever
she's
seen
the,
Ellen.
Ellen's definitely the funnest woman
All
in
right,
the world.
let's talk about.
I'll give you that.
Let's talk
Her
about.
stand-ups.
stand-ups are hilarious.
Wilkes, here's a little bit of a would ya before we get to you, but apparently now, sooner rather than later, you're going to see Octomom.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Doing things to herself that you normally have to pay to see. So the question is, would you pay to watch it?
I'd pay to not watch it.
You pay to not watch
Well,
it. Okay, there's the.
If someone's like had me
there's
at
the flip
gunpoint, it's like
side
you have
of
to
it.
go into the theater and watch this, and they said, "Or you can give me $20 to not watch it." Here's my $20.
Well, I can tell you right now.
Let me go.
If you pay for porn, you're a dummy.
Well, yes, clearly.
you are the world's.
That's just not something I want to see.
Didn't they talk about shutting all those sites down? Wasn't that a big thing?
Really? They can't shut down porn. That's what drives the internet.
That's what I heard.
That's
I heard
literally.
they're going to start cracking down on, like YouPorn.
They're
and-
not going to because that's
I'll find a different one.
That
somehow.
is-
I sure hope not.
that is the technology that drives the internet. They're not going to shut it down.
So no, nobody's interested in seeing this at all.
What? You asked what I pay for it.
All right. Okay. Next thing then, would you watch it?
Only if it's the kind. What's the film 8mm with?
Snuff film?
Only if it's a snuff film. That's about the
Basically,
one
if she
where-
dies. She dies.
Yeah.
during it.
Isn't snuff associated with death?
That's about it.
Not
we don't
watching
want that. No. Okay.
Wait a
so
minute.
I would watch it.
Yeah, of course I would.
I am into it. I want to legally download it the day it comes out.
I don't think I want to see it ever.
Interesting.
You wouldn't want to see it.
I honestly find her revolting, and maybe it's just on a personal level. But
Don't talk about your lever if we're talking about her.
You know what? That's what it is. It's that I find her such a disgusting human being.
Yeah.
That just
Oh,
just the thought of her
She's a terrible person.
makes
but
me just angry.
I
So
can tell you right now,
don't even want to watch it.
Teal Tequila was a terrible person. Watch that joint.
I don't think I
Well,
ever
Teal
saw it.
Tequila had a little more going on
That was
than
an
the
all-girls
Octomom.
joint. You'd be surprised if you saw pictures of the Octomom. She's got some stuff going on.
Octomom took a. If you didn't know it was Octomom, it'd still be grossed out because her face is terrible, but
Yeah.
wasn't as bad.
All right.
There's
all
some-
right. So we got there are a couple takers here, I think, that'll watch it when it comes
You
out.
guys have to tell me how good
The
it is.
smart man said no.
All right, Wilkes, let's wrap this puppy up. We over the last couple of weeks now, we've liked to do where we talk about girls in certain situations or certain times of their lives or certain roles even, where we would ask the simple question, would you do it?
This one is going to be. The first one's going to be time of her life.
Okay.
Obviously, now I think she looks much better and probably a definite. But would you with fat Kelly Osbourne
Oof! Like during the show.
during the show?
Oh.
Not the Kelly Osbourne now, because right now I think she's pretty good looking.
She's gotten it together pretty good now.
Yeah, but back then,
She was just such a disgusting pig. Oh my god! And she was foul mouthed and
yeah, she had that like terrible, like the British accent with like
Oh,
the look,
like
and
dirty.
the foul. Yeah, it was just like. Would you have?
oh, I don't think so, dude.
Would you have if it got you on the Osbourne show? How big it was at that point?
No.
See, remember, you can't ask that follow-up question. But no, the simple question that might be my first no. It just wouldn't interest me.
Kevin was interested in everything else, but not
Yeah.
that. No, I don't think so.
That's a difficult one. She's still an Osbourne, right? She's still doing the show at the time and all that.
Yeah.
So
The peak of when the Osbournes were at their peak when
She's
they
still
owned
her.
TV.
I mean, she is absolutely terrible. But
She's, like I said, much better now.
my own horrible strive for stardom might lead me to do something
See?
ridiculous.
See,
Okay.
I must always go for the story.
Oof.
And at that time, is how big they were. It would have been an interesting story.
And in that house, you'd have no problem getting intoxicated. So
I think that I'd
would be
rather
a
tell
good
the
start.
story of the time I turned her down. I don't know.
Interesting. There you go.
Second one, and this girl grosses me out. Rumor Willis. Yes,
Wait, didn't her sister just get
Scout. Because
get
Scout made me
arrested?
think
Yeah, give me rumor. Yeah, I'll take that.
that chin
Yeah, I don't care.
just kills me.
It's very much a potato head look.
Scout Willis got caught drinking like an 8-ounce beer, and then she broke out a fake ID and had a different name on it.
Pretty smart.
Yeah,
Good for her.
fake ID at 20. Just eat that one.
I don't think I'd. You know what? The rest of her ain't that bad. So I could probably get over that.
I'd do it. Now it's a yes for me.
Yeah, I'll go with rumor for sure.
I don't know
Rumor,
what-
Wait, how old is
has
she?
it.
She's like 20.
She's like 24,
Okay.
25, I think. She might even be older than that.
You're not allowed to ask these questions if they're too young, though. It gets creepy then.
All right, gentlemen. So, Steve, want to thank you for checking in
Sharon
the last
Kelly
couple.
Osbourne's a no. Rumors
Yes, thank
a
you
yes.
for having me.
The last
It
couple
was a good time.
segments, as always, or no, not as always, but this week in particular, make sure you look out for the Gazette, Montgomery County, Rockville, and Gaithersburg story about us in there. We'll be tweeting it out from Hogs Radio, putting it on Facebook, all that good stuff. So
Like us on Twitter. We're at 595, and it's tilting me.
let's get up there.
1595.
Let's past.
We can't break 1600.
We'll do it. We'll
Like
do
we
it.
get up to
Clawing.
we get up to 98. We go down to 95.
We lose a
Up
couple
to
of bots
6.
every day.
Yeah, we lose. We just need our bot. I'm gonna tweet out something about like Gatorade or something out, and I'll just start tweet a porn link out, and then you just get all these porn bots. We'll get shoot up right up there.
So I want to thank Michael Lee from the Washington Post for coming on
Absolutely.
our show tonight as well. We talked about the NBA playoffs, talked about the Nats and O's. So hopefully our teams do well this week before the big interleague play, and we'll be back next week at full strength. Bradley will be back. Hopefully he's probably more tan and has some stories from Turks and Caicos to share with us. But as always, follow us all week online, website, Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff. So till next week, for Wilkes and MJ and our special guest Steve, I'm Kevin. Good night, everybody.